Good morning. It's Thursday morning, March 26. Hope you have a good morning. This morning I was in 2 Kings, chapters 11 through 14, and I want to speak on a verse from chapter 14, verse 26. For the Lord saw that the affliction of Israel was very bitter, and whether bond or free, there was no helper for Israel. For the Lord saw that the affliction of Israel was very bitter, and whether bond or free, there was no helper for Israel. This morning I'm just going to read what I wrote on this verse. Many times this life is not kind. Much of the suffering we go through is done alone. People can stand by us, they can sympathize, care, and show concern, but they cannot many times relieve the pain. We would like to relieve the world of its suffering, but we cannot. We would like to see no one ever go hungry again, but we cannot. Jesus said, "You will always have the poor among you." The Apostle Peter said, "Do not think it a strange thing when you suffer, because it's common to all men." God has not chosen to remove the suffering of the rich or the poor, the strong or the weak, the righteous or the rebellious. Suffering is part of the existence of living here on a planet in rebellion to our Creator. God did not invent suffering, but He has chosen to use it in our lives. We become aware of our weakness. We are overwhelmed by our inability to change things. We become desperate in the loneliness of suffering, that no one can take it away or truly go through it with us. But the love of God draws those who suffer to Himself. Only He can speak to the heart in pain, stand within the body that calls out for relief, and sit at an empty table with the poor who have nothing. It is the mystery of God, who has all things and needs nothing. He becomes poor with us. He hurts with us. And He meets us in the loneliness of suffering. No one can escape suffering, but the one who suffered for us will be there with us if we allow Him to comfort us. That's my prayer. We receive the fact that Jesus is with us at all times, in us, with us. In our weakness, He is made strong. He suffers with us. He is lonely with us. He sits at an empty table and feeds us His manna. He sits with the lonely and tells them that He loves them. He sits with those in pain. And because He has experienced great pain, He just sits and comforts and speaks to us in that pain. It's by faith that we believe that. And because of our faith is not in something that's not real. It's not just a wish. It's the faith in the reality that God's promises are true, that His words are true. And that because we have faith, it becomes a reality to us. We begin to experience. When we trust, we begin to experience His closeness. We begin to hear His voice. We begin to feel His comfort. But we must put our mind, we must use our heart and our mind to trust Him. The more I think about all my problems, the less I think about Him. The more I put my focus on whatever pain I have, the less I sit and allow Him to minister. So we must, when we're feeling that loneliness, when we're in that pain, when we're in that suffering, God calls us to turn to Him. to just rest quietly in Him, to begin just to worship Him and to thank Him for whatever we can thank Him for at that moment, that we have breath, that our eyes still work maybe, that our ears can still hear, but mostly the fact that He loves us, He's with us, and eventually He's taken us home, where all the suffering ends. Thanks for listening to me today.